Hello people of the internet. Okay, so this video is on how to sell ACH payments, US bank account payments, on any website builder using your standard Stripe account and Stripe payment links and Stripe checkout. So first of all, I want to say that this video should be very useful to you if you just have a standard Stripe account and you're a non-technical person and you want to take ACH payments. I will show you how. And I will also demonstrate the value of using an app like ours because we can do some fancy things that you can't do with your standard Stripe account. But I'm going to show you both what you can do with your standard Stripe account and then some of the fancy bells and whistles one can do when they code or when you're using an app like Paid Members app. So we have a demo website here and we're selling adamantium cups. These fictitious adamantium cups are indestructible and they are $100 a pop. So we are using a website builder, and you can use this video if you're using any website builder. So that means if you're using Weebly or Wix or Squarespace or Shopify or Webflow or Duda, and your website builder is probably going to have an integrated shopping cart. But there might be some limitations on the shopping cart, like you can't sell with ACH, or you can't sell with some other payment method that is available via your standard Stripe account. But there's no reason why you can't, next to your payment button to pay with the integrated shopping cart, also process a payment directly through your standard Stripe account. So for example, I have this link that is some text and an image that are linked with a Stripe payment link, which is something you can just create in your Stripe account. And when I click on it, it opens up a Stripe checkout session. And in the session that we see here, your customer can pay you with ACH. You'll note that there's no other payment method available. It doesn't have Google Pay or credit card, just ACH payments. So that is something that you can not do in your standard Stripe account. They don't have a way of just defining a single payment method. They will show every payment method that's enabled in your Stripe account, and you cannot remove credit cards. But that is something that I thought was cool, so I coded that into Paid Members app so that you can process a payment method that's just a single payment method, like just Afterpay or just ACH. So let me cover payment methods in your Stripe account first. So here we have a testing Stripe account, and I'm in test mode. So Stripe has a great test mode functionality, and what you want to do is set everything up in test mode and then copy it into live mode when everything functions. So on this page is where you set up what payment methods are enabled for your Stripe checkout sessions. And you'll see that the first thing is cards. So those are on by default, and you cannot turn these off in your Stripe account. Again, so if you have a Stripe checkout session, it will show credit cards and ACH. If you use an app like ours or you can code, you can just pass in the payment methods that you want. Then let's go down here and talk a little bit about ACH, because this video is on ACH. You can see that we turned ACH on, so you'll want to do that in test mode and then later in live mode. And you'll see there's this note that says webhooks recommended. So a webhook is just a notification from Stripe. So why do they say that? Well, if you hover over it, it'll say ACH direct debit is a delayed notification payment method. That's why we recommend setting up webhooks. So so the point here is that if someone hasn't paid you yet, if the payment hasn't cleared, even if they've entered their payment information, you don't want to ship them a cup. And if you look up the Stripe documentation, which you showed on ACH, just Google Stripe ACH, you'll see a little bit more detailed information. This is good to skim. But ACH direct debit is a reusable delayed notification payment method. So we've already covered delayed notification. And this means that it can take up to 4 business days to receive acknowledgement of the success or failure of the payment. So what a webhook is, when they say webhooks it's a notification that the payment succeeded. And if you connect your Stripe account to an app like ours, or you can code, you can listen like we do for your account 24/7, 365. We'll listen for when this payment succeeds. But if you have a small business, you can definitely sell with a payment link in ACH, and you'll just check the customer, and I'll show you how to do this and make sure that the payment succeeded before you take any action. If you're running an automated website, you'll want to use coding or Paid Members app or something to listen for these webhooks, and then we can automatically take an action. For example, we can unlock an online course for you when that payment goes through, or we can send an email that you can customize to your customer as soon as the payment goes through with a link to make a password on your website and log in, and we handle all that like login functionality. Okay, but definitely you can take this with a payment with your Stripe account alone. Okay, so that's payment methods. And then let me show you payment links. So to find this payment methods page that I'm on now, just click payment, search for payment methods because they move things around, and it's under settings, payment methods. And once you've set that all up, you can search for payment links, and it's really easy to create a link. So a little background is, back in the day, we used to generate code for you to create Stripe checkout, and it was a big block of code you put into your website. And some websites like Wix would block all that code. But now Stripe's moved to a system where they replaced all that code with a very, very simple link. And that link can be put anywhere on almost any website because the internet is based on hyperlinks. So you can hyperlink an image or a button or text like we did here. Okay, so going back to payment links, if you want to create a payment link in your Stripe account and link it to something on your website, just click New and then pick a product. So for example, I'm picking this product that's just called 100. And you'll see already in this preview on the right that Apple Pay is showing up because it's enabled in this account, and credit cards and Alipay and Klarna and different payment methods that I've enabled. So whatever payment methods you enabled will show up. So just make sure ACH is enabled in there. After the payment, with the payment link, you can just show a message like, thanks for your payment. Or you can redirect to any page of your website, like a thank you page, like as soon as your payment goes through, we'll ship the cup. You could say something like that. So it's really easy to create a link. You just choose the product and check some boxes on this page for what exactly you want to do, and then click create link. And then Stripe will give you this very simple link and give you a way to just copy it, and then you can paste it into your website. And for example, in this website builder, we have a button that we just dragged in, like dragging in a button. I'll drag one down here, and your website builder should have some way to add a link, and you just say website URL because it's not a page on your website, it's an external page, and you'll just paste in that Stripe payment link, and that's how you link a button. And it's very similar in website builder for linking text or an image. You just click on it and add a hyperlink. Let's show you why you might want to use a payment link too. Why you might want to create a payment link and use it to process payment. So if I want to buy this adamantium cup and I'm using the integrated shopping cart of my website builder, I clicked on buy now. This is going through the flow of the integrated shopping cart. So you can go ahead and buy this adamantium cup. I've clicked on it a couple times, so it has 2 in the cart. I'm going to change that to 1. And then the customer would do some flow, like entering some information about themselves, and then here's the shipping costs that we set up, and then they get to a page where they can put in their credit card. But you can see that there's no way of entering ACH. You might be able to turn on something like PayPal or some alternative payment methods, but this flow that we're showing in this video is good if you can't sell through your integrated shopping cart. So you can wait around for your website builder to add support for whatever payment method you want, in this case ACH, or you can just process directly through your Stripe account. So the first thing you will need is a Stripe account, which you can create for free on stripe.com, and then you can do any of these steps. So let me show you an example of processing a payment with ACH. So here's the adamantium cup image, and then I'm going to click on this, and this opens up that Stripe checkout session. You can see we're in test mode because there's this little pill that says test mode, and you can upload a product in the Stripe product. You can upload an image of the product in your Stripe account under the product and give a little description. And this is the adamantium cup for $100. And I'm going to go and process the payment, and I'm going to say this customer is info@tester.com. You're welcome in test mode to just use a fictitious email. So this person's name is info tester, and I'm going to go and put in an address, and Stripe will just supply what it thinks might be that customer's address, and I'm just going to choose one for the purposes of testing. And I'm going to go down here and click test institution. And Stripe, being amazing payment processor that they are, they have all this like optionality for you in test mode. You can process it as the account is closed or a failure, insufficient funds, but we're going to process a succeeding payment. So now we've linked the bank account, and then you just click pay. And then you can redirect to a thank you page or show a custom message. And if you're using an app like ours, you can also redirect to a thank you page, but you can also redirect to a form to create a password if you want. But in this flow, because there's a delay, you probably want to redirect to a thank you page that says, as soon as your payment goes through, we will ship your cup or send you an email or whatever. So I'm going to click pay, and we're going to process this payment, and it's going to go to a thank you page. And then what we're going to do is we're going to very quickly look at the customer, and you'll see that the payment has not succeeded, that it's only pending. So let me go into the Stripe account, and now the payment can take up to 4 days to process, but Stripe doesn't wait for 4 days. But under the overview, they will show that this payment is pending for about a minute. So if you click pending, it says the customer's bank is processing this payment. This is because paying with ACH, US bank account, is a delayed payment method. So if someone paid with a credit card, although in theory they could deny the charge or it's fraud or something, in general, you get an instant success and you can unlock your paid content or go ahead and ship a product. But with delayed payment methods, you don't want to do that until this is a success. So if you're just running a small business, you can check the customer and make sure that this says success before you give access to your product or paid content. But if you want to grow your business and scale it from, to 1,000 or 10,000 or 1 million customers, you will probably want to automate it with some coding or using something like Paid Members app. If I refresh the screen, at some point this is going to turn into a success. So you can see, if you want to dig in, you can click events and logs. Checkout session with async method succeeded. So this one is on top when that payment succeeds. So if I go here again and click on info@tester.com, it's going to say overview will say success. So there, it was pending for a while and now it's succeeded. And since we have integrated this with Paid Members app in this example, a welcome email is fired off. And so this welcome email has a link, and you can customize this email and send it to your customer when that payment succeeds. And you can put a link in here that will send them to a page where they can log in. And if you're familiar with Stripe Customer Portal, we have another video you can look up on Stripe Customer Portal. Basically, we make this sign-up page look like your brand settings in your Stripe account, just like Customer Portal. So that means whatever icon you put in your Stripe account and whatever colors you put will appear here, just like Stripe Customer Portal. And so this is something that you can do with an app that you can't do without coding, where your customer can create a password, and then your customer will be able to click My Account and go to a similar page that will show them what they have access to, and then they can go to Stripe Customer Portal. I won't go into detail here because, again, we have a whole other video on Stripe Customer Portal, but I'll just give you the gist of it. So your customers can come and with an application, we have pages like this that give them some information about themselves. They can change their password and things, and they can also immediately access, once they're logged in, the Stripe Customer Portal, which will show the payment methods on file, and they can add other payment methods. And there is a no-code version of this Stripe Customer Portal that looks something like this link here, which, because they're not logged in, they have to actually confirm with an email. Again, check out our other video on Stripe Customer Portal to learn more about Stripe Customer Portal. So basically, we have processed a payment for using ACH, and this video showed you how to take ACH payments on any website builder using Stripe, Stripe Payment Links, and Stripe Checkout.